So I've been involved in training, development, and a lot around the subject of referrals, networking, those types of things. So I do three main areas I focus on. I focus on mentoring, I focus on mastermind groups for business owners, and then marketing via referrals. So teaching around that subject as well. So those are the types of things I get involved in. And it's all about really trying to find that extra increase of business and actually helping people sometimes even around their productivity as well. So that's some of the things I get involved in. So thank you, Simon.
No problem. So do you have a, do you want to then start your presentation talk then, Andrew?
Okay, you want me to head on? Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
Good. Just very quickly, how many people in here are footballers? No, it doesn't look that exciting in here, is it? Someone.
Yeah, go on.
Many of you play golf, because I did hear somebody else mention that playing golf. Yeah, people.
Yeah.
All right. So I thought I was going to do something a little bit different today, but just the introduction or introduce what I was going to do. So going to have a bit of fun as we go along. I want you to be interactive as well, as much as you can, which is important. I can't always see the chat, stuff like that. So anyhow, football, golf. I want you to think of a professional golfer, professional footballer. What have they got in common? What have professional footballers and professional golfers got in common? So if you want to shout out, you want to put in the chat box, whatever you want. I need somebody just to help me along with that.
Practicing.
Okay.
Training.
Okay, training. Yep. Excellent. What else?
Money.
Money. Excellent.
Focus.
Ideal referrals for me.
Focus. Okay. What else?
Determination.
Determination.
Passion.
Passion. Okay, good.
Dedication.
Dedication. Excellent. We're moving out.
Talent.
Did you say balance, Ray?
Talent.
Talent. Okay.
Concentration.
Concentration.
Driven.
Goal-oriented type people, driven people, I would say in a lot of cases. So here's the question. What's the difference between professional golfers and professional football players?
Football's playing a team.
Okay. And golf is?
Well, it's a solo sport, but they're part of the team, aren't they?
Yeah, I get that. But then whenever you're actually playing the game, one of them is very much a team sport and one is very much an individual sport. Whenever you're on that, you're actually playing the game. But when you think of that, even from a networking point of view, and a lot of times we go to networking events and we treat it like golf. In other words, we're very much about, it's all about us. And I want really to turn that on its head a wee bit today, and I want you to think of it more as a team sport. How can I build a team of people who can actually help enough? So I want to move into the main presentation, and we'll maybe give a prize for the person who can pick out the tune first. You have to be the first one with the tune first, okay? Now, how do I get... You have to be quick, guys. What's the tune?
Can't hear anything.
Oh, that's a little isn't it? Okay. Oh, well, that was Diamonds Were Forever. Okay. Okay, so I won the prize. 98% of people rely on word of mouth marketing. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Okay. But only 3% have a strategy, they say. So I suppose my question to you is, what strategy do you actually have for referrals in your business? But then I would like to share maybe one or two strategies they have for referrals in their business.
Asking existing customers.
Asking existing customers, yep. Okay, excellent. You're going quiet now.
I guess really it's asking. For me, that would get really what Ray said. Just asking existing clients, but I'll let everyone else kind of like speak really.
You could have like introducers fees for referrals.
Okay. What is it you do? Sorry, if you don't mind me asking.
Insurance.
Insurance. Okay, excellent. So you think like that. What I want you to really think of this morning is, if referrals is a large part of your business, and we all rely on word of mouth, referrals, those types of things, then surely it would be as good to have some type of strategy that we actually work through. It's not just about turning up at networking events. It's actually having a strategy or a plan, whatever way it is, to get referrals. What I'd like you to I want to interact with. I want you to start and write things down. So if one of those things is asking clients, okay, what other things do you think you could do that would actually give you a strategy, or things you can put in place today that would actually help you get more business from referrals? So whenever we start and think about referrals and we think of networks, how many people, because I can't see you all on the screen here, but how many people are part of more than one network?
Yeah.
Give me a shout out.
Yeah.
Okay, how many networks have you got, Andy?
I'm probably in about 4.
4, okay. Would you like to share what they are?
Yeah, local Chamber of Commerce,
Okay.
member of the Federation of Small Businesses.
Yep.
And I have been to a few BNI ones locally and this one. So
okay.
Yeah, so they all have their merits, don't get me wrong. Especially when you're a new business. I don't think there's one better than the other.
And what do you do, Andy?
Business owner. I'm in recruitment, which recruiters are 10 a penny. But I find myself more of a specialist recruiter. I actually have gone into helping and supporting people that need help getting into work, such as people that have learning disabilities, for example.
Okay.
That's a pet passion. But I mean, apart from doing just the kind of regular going and finding people, it's more I'm trying to actually help people that need it.
Okay, excellent. Well, that's might be really worthwhile to think upon as we go along. So we think of our networks, and again, you've mentioned 4. You mentioned 4 networks that you're part of. But how many other networks are you actually part of when you start and think about it? What other networks are there out there? Anybody else got other networks, or maybe in the social sphere?
Yeah, LinkedIn networks.
LinkedIn network, yeah. What else?
I'm in the Freemasons.
Freemasons, okay. I'm sure it costs money in there.
Yep.
What else?
You got your family, you got your friends, you got your suppliers, you got your customers, you got everything.
Yeah, family, friends, all those things. And then you've got your community groups, church groups, your gyms, football clubs, all these different things that you're part of, that you're meeting people all the time. They're all networks of people. So what I would like you to do is, or think about is, how many people do you believe you actually have in your network? Now, Andy's in the recruitment world, so he's going to have a lot of people, I think, in his network. How many do you think you know, Andy?
I mean, I would have, oh God. I mean, if I was to look at my LinkedIn, it's over 5,000 connections. Do I know everyone? No. Do we share some kind of commonality? Absolutely. Not one of the types of guys that would just be a kind of click just to connect, to share, but then that's got its merits too, don't get me wrong. God, I looked at my analytics the other day. There's something like 8,000 connections sometimes reply to posts, or they can reach, like, I don't know if you want to know that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but it's just, you just start to think about the amount of people actually know. Would I be very conservative if I said every one of us in this room has got to know about 250 people? Would that be conservative?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you have to interact with me. I've got a couple of people.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we know we've got at least 250. That's fantastic. So what I want you to do now, I want you to think of 4 people who in the last 12 months have given you a referral. Okay, might be 1 referral, 2 referrals, 100 referrals. I want you to write down the 4 names and how many referrals they've given you. This is hard going for a Monday morning, isn't it? You weren't expecting all that. When you've got your 4 down, tell me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, excellent job. Any more?
Yeah, me.
Okay, excellent, Simon. We'll take you, Simon, because if we think of those 4 people, and they're going to know 250 people each, not right? We've
Yep.
already agreed that. How many referrals have your 4 people given you in the last 12 months?
Roughly, I'd say 14, maybe
14.
14.
Okay.
Yeah.
Has anybody get any more than 14? The silence.
No.
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 Okay, Rebecca, I've seen you jumped on the screen there. How many have you got? You're 4.
About 10.
10. Excellent. I wish you'd have spoke up sooner. That made it so much easier for me.
Sorry.
Reason why I say, if you think about it, do it as an equation. 14 over 1,000, what percentage is that? 10 over 1,000, what percentage is that, Rebecca?
That's about 10%.
No, Rebecca, let's think again. What, 10 over 1,000?
I'm not a mathematician.
Oh, come on.
1%.
1%. 1%. And Simon is the best number in here, and he's got 1.4%. This piece of learning cost me £2,500 to find out. Okay, this is a training course I went on, and this is the one piece of the training that always blew my mind. We've got all these people in our network. We have 4 people who have given us referrals, but between them, they've given us 1% or 1.4% of their market. I wonder why that is. Why so little?
The network's not going to be all relevant.
Maybe. But even in a business capacity, most people know 200 odd people in business, ultimately.
They're not thinking about you all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are
Trust.
Definitely trust, yeah.
Some like
You
me is a service offering as opposed to a product delivered.
Yeah.
So not everybody needs what you do all the time.
Yep. Yeah. What is it you do, Rebecca, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm a career coach with a background of 30 years in recruitment.
Okay. So you're a career coach and we've got a recruitment person on the call here. Do you know each other?
Not yet, but it's,
You think you should?
I know we should. We will.
Yeah. Good.
Good on you, Rebecca.
So we think about it. Let's just think this morning, if we're talking this team idea, we're building power circles, building people around us. We know that people already have our network. So Rebecca and Andy have got the potential networks where they could be of help to each other. Would that be a fair comment?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. So you'll see there where I mentioned this whole idea of this was inspired by, in a sense, of an article or a talk that was done by this guy, Dr. Russell Conwell, and he talked about the acres of diamonds. So the whole thought here is acres of diamonds, and the story he told, I'm going to give it very briefly. Later on, if you want any more on this here, you can either Google it or you can send me and I'll send you the story as such. But it really was to do with a farmer. And at that time, there was all this noise out there. This information was coming back of these massive, there was massive diamond mines being found, and people were finding things, and people traveled the world just to go and to make their money. This man was on a farm. He sold up all he had. He traveled all around the world. Ultimately, he died in disaster. And in debt, he had nothing. He died. Actually, it was a depressing story. He got nothing. The man who bought the farm one day was walking over a little stream. And in that stream, there's a rock, and it was glistening. He took the glistening rock out as such, took it in, he cleaned it up, and he thought, that's a nice curiosity. He put it on the mantelpiece of his fireplace. And sometime later, a man came into the house and he says, do you realize what you have? And it turned out that it was an uncut diamond. And it was the man was actually in one of the biggest diamond mines or diamond places of that country. So the man left his farm, went to seek fame and fortune, died in depression as such, and the man who bought it got all the benefits. So what I'm saying to you this morning is, you likely have enough in your network already to get all the business you need. That's one of the things I want you to think of this morning as we go through some of these things to think of. So whenever we think of referrals, what is a referral? what is a referral to you this morning? So if you think of a referral where someone might give a name or a contact information, might give out literature, your business cards, your info. Is that a referral? Anybody on this call believe that's a referral?
No.
Okay.
No.
That was clear. All right. If we think about also the other side of it is, you might take it a little bit further. And again, we're stepping up a bit more here, where we're authorizing use of our name. Here, use my name, speak to them. You might even send a letter of recommendation with a testimonial, or send a letter of introduction and follow-up call. Does anybody believe that the referral's there?
We're getting nearer.
We're getting near. Okay. So what's your definition of a referral, Rebecca?
Where basically I know someone needing a photographer and I tell them they need to speak with Nikki Cameron, and I pass the details over and I let Nikki know that that person's going to ring them at 10 a.m. and it's like, we're ready to start that conversation.
So is the prospective customer ringing?
Either way, it could be like, I've got the customer's number, Nikki can ring them at 10 a.m. Permission has been given, they're expecting a call and they're ready to start that.
Excellent.
Potential business conversation, yeah.
Okay. So for me, you're near enough where I would be in that. And that is in what I would call the tier 3. That is where somebody's qualified a need and they've arranged permission to call. So the best way I can think of that is when one of my friends one day, he rang me, says, so-and-so, I've spoke to him, I want you to give him a call, and that whole permission's been given and I'm making that phone call. Okay, now that goes a wee bit deeper, I'll share that a bit later. But you're qualifying the need. You can take it a stage further. Qualifying the need, you connect them with an agreement for an appointment. You might actually have an appointment, might even do it over a cup of coffee, that type of thing. Or you take it even a stage further where you arrange that face-to-face on a 3-way meeting over a cup of coffee or whatever that might be for you. So we're just raising the game a bit more, but the referral sits in here at least. Okay, so that's the minimum. And I want people to start thinking that, because some people don't get it to that point. And the most important thing is where I have been told about the person and I'm ringing the person in that sense, so that permission has been given. So that's the most important thing for me on that. Then you might think of it, you're taking it a stage further, where people have described, you're taking all the levels, describe your product so well that you actually, some people's able to tell a prospect what they need exactly, and they're actually bringing a closed deal. And in some cases, if you buy something from somebody in your network, well, you've brought them a closed deal because that's what you're doing. But imagine you're bringing other people and what they're doing, and you're basically bringing that closed deal. There's so little work, and that's why your referrals are so important. You don't have to do all the work. If somebody's helped in the process, and also, as was mentioned earlier, about trust, you're using the trust of the other person in that as well. So why networking? That's a question for you. Give me, even but the chat box, whatever, shout out there for me, please.
I think to reduce any level of cold calling that we need to make, really, I think sort of those warm connections is massive for me. Okay.
Anybody else want to give us?
I think following on from Nikki's comment before about trying to keep front of mind, the more you have touch points with people, the more you meet people, the more they're likely to remember you and build trust and refer you.
Okay, excellent. Matt, what do you do?
I basically have a business that sells sports equipment.
Okay, excellent. Anybody else want to give me their view of networking? Has all been covered?
It's also a social side to it, and even enjoyment, I would say.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, good way to shoot the breeze sometime. Yeah, anything else?
I think it's actually building friendships too, really, not just work related. It's because people buy from people, don't they? So I think that's quite important, I think, too.
So let's go back to the game of football. What's the purpose of the game of football?
To score a goal and win.
Right. And get 3 points.
Yeah, 4 goals and win. Yeah.
Become a well-oiled team. They just know what all the people around them are doing and when they're doing it, and they can be relied upon.
Okay. So It's not a social thing. Look, on the pitch, is it?
No.
Okay, it is about the business. So there's part of I do get the whole social thing as well. But for me, when I turn up a networking meeting or something like that, it is about business. There's part of it's definitely about business. You need to be focused on that. And it's that idea, for me, it's about taking the ball from one side of a pitch to the other side and put it in the net. That's the scoring part. And you work that through all the players. Now, I'm not a big football person, all right? It's not, I'm not much into sport, but I understand the basics of that. So what I'm going to suggest to you is that whenever you go networking, it's about building a referral network. You're building a team around you that's going to give you the ball to score. And the same way you're going to give them the ball to score. So I want you to think that is, Rebecca said, a well-oiled machine working together, getting you more business. So whatever network you're on, this is what it's about this morning. So if we think about this, the whole thing around referrals, where does referrals come from? So if you think of those referrals that you had, Rebecca, the 10, was it 10 you had?
Yeah.
You're on mute, Rebecca.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Where did they come from? Where did those referrals come from? What type of people gave you the referrals? Were the customers? Were the suppliers? Were they family and friends? Or
All of them have been people met through networking, and Ray Tammond was one of them.
okay, excellent. I'm going to ask you a question, and this is not the picking. Did you thank them?
Absolutely.
Excellent. That's good. Okay, I want you to think of. I want you to do this now. I want you to write down. I'm going to give you 8 different areas where referrals can come from. Okay, potentially. Number 1, staff members. Write staff members down. If you don't have staff, you're not going to get any referrals from them. Okay, but below the staff, if you've got staff members, write 2 or 3 names down. If you have 2 or 3, whatever that might be for you. Have you all got staff?
No.
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 1. Okay. Anybody got more than 1?
Yeah.
Okay. Many of you got Ray?
3.
3 staff. My goodness. Okay.
Mind you, I've got a couple of people I outsource to, so in effect, they could be classed as
Okay.
staff.
They might come in here later on as well, but that's good. Okay. Number 2, satisfied customers and clients. What I would like you to do is just take a moment and write down 5 satisfied customers or clients that you've dealt with in the last 12 months, say.
Yeah.
Okay. So the 5 people you've written down, Andy, you wrote down 5?
Yep.
Have all those 5 given you referrals in the last 12 months?
1, 2, 3, I would say. 3 arguably. Yeah.
All right. Do you think the other 2 could?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So this is what we're doing today. We're uncovering the diamonds as such. So we're looking at people who potentially could be giving us referrals. That's just to get us thinking about that. Then we also, what I want you also to think about is your contact spheres. The contact spheres is people who are in a similar type of business to you, but you don't compete. So we have the career coach, we have the recruitment person, 2 people, similar type of industries you're in, professions you're in, but you don't compete. So I'd like you to write down, just for a moment, what other businesses would have the same target market as you, but don't compete. Andrew, you popped on the screen there, Andrew Milne. What do you do yourself?
So I support businesses with customer loyalty and reward engagement programs.
Okay, so that's also an HR really, isn't it?
It can kind of move into employee benefits, but it's more about helping businesses maximize their kind of customer and client relationships.
Okay. And who would know your clients before you? Or who knows your clients, similar type of industry to you? Or similar target market?
It's a good question because it kind of covers quite a broad number of sectors, but I think in terms of targets, definitely accountants,
Okay.
maybe recruitment agencies, people who are also supporting businesses with helping them with new client growth, so customer acquisition, where these are clearly relevant but non-competing, because one's about acquiring customers, the other, which is what I do, is about maximizing existing customers.
Okay. So if we're just starting right down like accountants and different ones that fall into that, might even be people who are training companies. Would that be a good support thing as well? Training companies and people who are in there. Just think they got. Then also, if you think about people whose business benefits from yours. So every time you get a sale, who benefits? Is there, what other businesses out there are benefit because you're getting business? Not determined. So if you think about it, even for me, sometimes if I'm meeting clients, where do you meet them at? You meet them at a restaurant, you meet them at a coffee shop or whatever. So those businesses are benefiting because of that. Do the people that you actually get into a coffee shop, do they actually know what you do? Just worthwhile thinking about, because they like to see a lot of people. Also, think of people who have given you referrals. So we've already made note of 4 people who've given you referrals in the past. Okay, so those are people who could potentially be giving you more referrals. Okay, they already trusted you enough. You already went through that barrier as such, you get through the trust area with them. And then also other people you've given referrals to, they maybe not have given back to you. So I'd like you to write down 4 or 5 people that you've given referrals to in the last 12 months. Who have you given referrals to? Would anybody like to share some of the types of referrals they're handing over at the moment? Don't have any details, just the sort of companies or the people or what the needs were.
Yeah, I've given some work to a solicitor.
Okay, excellent. Anybody else?
Work to the person who does my marketing. Now I know how she works with me. I'm in a much stronger position to be telling everybody all about her.
Okay, so that's a business that benefits from you having business, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I can keep paying her bill if people pay me.
Yeah. She's like wants to help you market then. Yeah.
Absolutely, she does.
Yeah. So also then, if you think of number 7, your referral network members. Okay, so whenever I'm saying a referral network members, I'm normally thinking of really tight referral groups. Okay, people whose focus is on referrals, not just networking, but you can do the networking thing. So you actually start and you look at it and you think, look at all the people I know, write down all the people you meet here every week, write down all the people in all our networks, all these people. Those are all people who could potentially be giving you more referrals. Okay, and then there's all the other people that you're actually doing business with. That might be on a business level or a personal level. I remember a story once. A guy in London. He was trying to get investors for property in London in a certain place. Now he was looking to get high earners. Who do you think became one of his best referral givers? What industry do you think the person was in that was one of his best referral givers?
City traders.
Okay, wasn't that, but good guess. What else? I did say I was going to try and get some engagement out of you. So, what other profession do you think?
Another estate agent?
No, wasn't, but good guess. Yep. Property investment. No. No. Looking for high earners. Looking for people, big business people, and all the rest of it. The person.
Legal professionals.
Sorry, Andrew.
Lawyers, legal professionals.
Yeah, we're thinking too much here. It was a hairdresser.
Amazing.
A high-end hairdresser who was doing the hairs of wives of big business people, and she was influencing through that way, and that became one of the best referral sources he had. So never discount people in your network who you're doing business with on a personal basis. Now, I believe she may have been incentivized, but that's not the point. She was actually bringing that through. So it's worthwhile thinking about this morning. Okay, so this bit here, we're going to ask, I'm going to ask Andrew here, or sorry, Andrew in the head now. Simon, we're going to go into breakout rooms here. Just a couple of breakout rooms for this one. And I want you to think of trust. And trust is a major foundation in referrals that we do, and building teams and all the rest of it. But what I would like you to get into the group, Booker, I want you to look at two sides of it. What builds trust? What allows people to give you referrals, and what is breaking trust? In other words, what creates distrust? It makes a big difference. So if you can, Simon, can you put the rest of them into a breakout room? And we're just going to do this for 5 minutes. I want you talking to each other about your own industries, professions, and then also talking about what builds trust in your industry and different things like that. And then we'll come back in 5 minutes. Would that be okay?
Yep.
So, Andrew, I'm gonna. Do you want to be in a breakout room too? Do you, Andrew?
No, I'll sit out if that's all right. I'll let them work without me in the meantime.
Okay, let's go then. 5 minutes. Was it 5 minutes? Yep.
5 minutes. Yep.
Okay, let's go.
Very good. You still there, Simon?
I'm still here. Yeah.
So how's that for you so far?
Perfect. Yeah. Perfect. It's engagement on a Monday morning is it can be quite after the weekend, I guess. Can't it? Our brains need to kind of we're just human, aren't we? But it's a good way really of just refreshing things about our networks, isn't it?
Yeah. Look, I like to be wrapped up with this by 11 o'clock anyhow, in a sense. So we'll try and run to 11, then we'll get more questions and stuff. Would that do?
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Stuff like that. And then it allows this cultivation process is really moving from trust right through to the referral part. And we'll do another couple of these. We'll bring them back, get some feedback, then we'll go back into the next bit, if you know what I mean. We'll do a couple of these, and then I can tailor it to that sort of around 11 o'clock and a bit of more conversation. I want to leave with something to think about. That's really what I'm doing this morning. So hopefully that's
as well. Put some time as well towards the end, Andrew, to someone say pitch what you do as your business, but spend some time at the end as well. So if anyone wants to work with you.
Yeah, I have a couple of slides, and I have a couple of slides, just some of the books I have on referrals, and I have the other one, which is one which there where they can get more stuff on really analyzing, and so a Google feedback form which helps them get through the different questions. So they'll be able to scan the QR code, they can look at it later, type of thing. And it'll take 10 minutes for them to go through that if they want to do that, take a screenshot of it or whatever,
Yeah.
So yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's just getting the guys. For me, it's about getting them speaking, getting them talking, doing different things, connecting them.
It's basically building a team of Bruno Fernandez's. As you're not a football man, you wouldn't know who Bruno Fernandes is. But Bruno Fernandes, he's got the most assists now in the Premier League.
Right. Okay.
So if you want to use that as an analogy,
well, you could bring it out. You could bring that out, but
can do. Yeah,
you can bring it out. I mean, really, what I'm saying is, we turn up at these networking events, and yes, there's other people who might. Yeah, we educate them. It might tell us something, if you know what I mean. Or they might get us a referral. But if you have people who are actively, like that career coach, and once they part of a team, and they're meeting regularly, and they turn up here or they turn up somewhere else, so they meet for coffees and they go on socials together, then whenever they get a customer, the other person gets a customer. So
they become friends.
Yeah. So, for instance, I took on a new client there recently in the mentoring side. Their company's going to do 3.2 million this year. but I took him to see another warehousing system only because I knew somebody in the network. So I'm bringing value to them. The guy in the warehouse, he wasn't getting in from that. But then we went for lunch together and introduced him to a guy who does social media and video. And as a result of that, they actually then did business. They, we bought a video of him for £1,500 or something, So that's what knowing your network and bringing, like, that was like a referral in that sense, So we just elevated that to a different level just by having lunch together. So that guy got an hour building a relationship before they ever talk about business,
Yeah, and that's what this group does, or these groups. It brings football fans together, so they've already got that common ground.
Yeah.
So they don't have to try and find out what commonality they've got. The football is the glue which brings us all together.
Yeah.
And there's Andy and there's Rebecca. So Rebecca's a Man United fan, Andy's a Liverpool fan, but it doesn't matter. It's all part of our community. But there's opportunities there.
Yeah.
So it's about building a team around you, isn't it? Yeah, one that can defend, one that can create goals, and one that can score goals as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where we are. So look, that's okay. They're going back on again, isn't it? So we got a bit of feedback, and then we'll go into the next couple of things, and we can just break, and you can either mix the sessions up again if you want to. We'll do another one or two maybe of this as we go through this. All right.
Yeah.
This is my second time on this, so. All right, welcome back. How was that for you?
Interesting.
Interesting. Yeah. Why was it interesting?
Because we're all focused on doing the right things, but sometimes we might not do the right thing, and not because we're bad people, but because time runs out or another day passes. It's just keeping those things that you've said you're going to do, doing them, and building that trust from the way you do whatever you do it right.
Yeah.
And if you are a day late coming back with what you said you were going to do, acknowledge that you were a day late coming back with what you said you do, and hold your hands up. And it's that sort of, it's not always what you do, it's sometimes how you correct something that's gone wrong, and those things can really build trust massively as well. I'm not saying make a mistake at the beginning so you can put it right and look brilliant, but if you do make that mistake, it's not always the end of the world.
No, and sometimes in those cases, keeping people in touch with what you're doing as well, different things going on, and that's coming back to communication. What things actually cause distrust? What other things out there are causing distrust? Maybe you never got to that level.
I think from our discussion, we found it quite, I'd say they're almost the other side of the coin to the things that build trust. So, again, knowing that you're reliable. So exactly as Rebecca said, and you, Andrew, just touched on it, communication. So I think we all found in our breakout group, it was quite straightforward to identify, what are the critical elements to build trust. Probably all recognize that we're guilty, as Rebecca said, of not always actually being as kind of diligent with those things that we've identified, and it's kind of practice what you preach. So to answer your question, I think one of the biggest things that creates distrust is that kind of, almost false promise or lack of follow-up on something you say you're going to do.
Yeah.
So there was, I never got the chance to say this, but there was in another life, I'd worked for a business that actually measured consistency and what it meant to provide good service. It's just silly things, Andrew, like always answer your phone, don't let it ring more than 2 times. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's not always possible, but with the best of intention, how does your client feel about you as a service provider if you're measuring yourself to standards like simple things,
Yeah. So I'm going to ask a question. What's the answering service on your phone say?
On mine, God, you're through the voicemail. I don't know what you mean.
Anybody remember what is actually on the answering service of their phone?
Yep.
I'm going to phone mine.
Sorry?
I'm going to phone mine now.
Mine's fairly general. Sorry, I missed your call.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
leave a message. I'll get
Mine-
back to you. Right.
So in some cases, if you think about it, in many cases it says, "Here, thanks for your call. Sorry, I'm not available at the moment. I'll ring you back as soon as possible." Would that be a fair comment?
Yeah.
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 How long is soon as possible?
Yeah.
How long is that? Is that an hour? 10 minutes?
Could be
You
anything.
Just
can't,
do
you
that.
can't specify because you don't know if you're in a day-long seminar. You can't get back to them the same day. If you're on another call that finishes 10 minutes later, you can pretty much ring them straight back, can't you?
So imagine you turned down his head and just said, "Here, thanks for your call. Sorry, at the moment I'm dealing with clients. I will ring you back in the next 24 hours, next working day." Would that give you enough time to return all your calls and keep your promise?
Yeah, should do.
Just thinking. So, yeah. So let me just put this another thing to you, Simon Jones. If you get a voicemail and it's a gift gaff voicemail, what does it tell you about the person that you rang?
They're on gift gaff.
They're on gift gaff. They're on gift gaff, and perhaps they could be slightly more professional, if that's the right word. It's probably not the right word, but they could do things a bit smarter. And
The
Yeah.
thing is,
Those are all small things. All
Mm.
small things.
it basically says I don't care enough about the call that's coming in to have even thought about leaving a message that's kind of, given some thought to it.
And if you speak to some of the customer experience people, they tell you it's back to the voicemail even from the very start. Okay, so if that's affecting your business, it's affecting your trust in a small way. Okay.
Many years ago, Andrew, I still remember they said, "Don't say sorry, I'm not available," like a negative.
Yeah.
So I always remember this. So mine says something like, "Thanks for calling. I'll call you back," and I do say as soon as possible. But they say, "Don't put sorry, I can't. Sorry, like you're apologising. Negative. Be positive. Thanks for calling. I'm going to call you back." And I still do.
Wait,
That 10 years later.
Classic British apologetic.
Yeah, that's right. British. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, my wife works in a retail environment, and they're taught whenever people are waiting in a queue, thank them for waiting. Thanks for waiting. Whenever they come up. So,
On a personal note, one of the things I will always try and do is avoid that voicemail. So if I can see the phone ringing, even though I know I can't have that conversation, I will ask whatever call I'm in to give me a minute. I'll pick up that phone and say, "Thanks for calling. I'm really sorry I can't speak right now, but I will call you back." And that creates that personal interaction to show you did take the time out to pick up their call, but you've explained straight away that you're not going to be able to give it kind of the attention it needs right now.
okay. Does anybody in here know each other quite well? Is there two people in here know each other quite well in their business fairly well?
I'd say I know Simon well, and Nikki well, and Jim well, and Ray well.
Hey, Rebecca, thanks for volunteering. Fantastic.
No, you're going to stitch me up and I'm going to look like I don't know them at all.
But, now, do you think I would do that? You've only met me for a short time. Do you think I would be like that, do you?
I've got a spider sense on you, Andrew. Yeah, I do.
You're well worth watching. Okay, so
Yeah.
we talked about trust. Trust is a major part. Okay, no matter what we're doing. All right, trust is a major part for business. Okay, the next thing really along that, if we think about on this line, is business knowledge. So understanding each other's value. So for Rebecca to refer Nikki, have you referred Nikki before? That's a no
I've
then.
not directly referred her, but I have posted her social media out and I have shouted about her work in public. So
Okay, so you
next best thing.
you never gave her the ball. You just sent her a picture of the ball. Didn't you?
Yeah. Here's a ball. Here's a ball that I've got sitting ready for you sometime soon.
Excellent. All right, but you know her business well enough.
I believe so. And I've used her business, so I'm in a stronger position to tell people about it.
You're fantastic, again. So this is the one part of where we need to understand in the referral process. We might have the trust in a way, but there needs to be enough business knowledge to know what to do. So what I'm saying is, does your network, does your team know enough about your business to talk about it for 2 to 3 minutes intelligently? You don't know about the other person's business intelligently to talk about it. So, Rebecca, I'm going to ask you to tell us about Nikki and her business and tell us all around it. And you've got up to 2 minutes. Go ahead.
Okay, Nikki is based in the northwest of England. She loves Man United. She likes being outside and enjoying nature and being sociable. She is a professional photographer, but she doesn't like doing staged photography. She wants to photograph people in their natural environment, in their normal workwear. She doesn't want coiffed hairdos if that's not how somebody would go to the office looking like. And she likes to shoot people that don't like being shot.
In photography term.
Is that enough?
Yeah.
That's only 34 seconds, Rebecca.
I'll keep going.
Yeah, keep going.
She's well known for wearing orange. That's kind of her brand trademark. You know, Nikki's in the room if there's a piece of orange clothing somewhere. She also has a wide network of people. She knows a lot of people. She will do event photography, but it's to capture the person that is in that event. It's not usually to capture the entire event. That's not her bag. Don't ask her to do. I wouldn't ask Nikki to do weddings. I've never heard her saying that's her thing, and she's agreeing with me, so that's all good. I've listened there. She likes people in their natural habitat, looking natural and approachable, and somebody that you would want to speak to.
Let's give Rebecca a round of applause.
That's brilliant.
Okay,
That's superb. That was like you found a website or something.
you did get to 1 minute and just under 30 seconds. Okay. So
It's not like me not to talk enough, Andrew.
yeah. But if you think about it, if you take out all the personal stuff, okay, what is her business about? So Nikki, what's your business about?
So, yeah, I'm a professional photographer and I take photos of people in business and specialize in taking pictures of people who hate being shot.
Okay. And what's the purpose of that?
The purpose of it is so that people have wonderful pictures on their website, which invokes trust for people who are looking to buy their services.
So what's the type of people could refer you business, Nikki?
So what, sorry?
What type of professions refer you business?
Refer business to me?
Yeah.
I've had it from all sorts of people. I've had mainly networkers. When you were just thinking then, it was people who lead networking groups and
okay.
The main referrers.
Okay. If you think about it, she just made a comment that what was one of the reasons for the photographs?
Building trust.
Build trust.
Building trust. And who puts those photographs out there? What was the profession that needed
Web designer.
Web designers. Okay.
Digital marketing agencies.
Yes. But if you think of the web designers and they need your service, would that be fair enough, Nikki?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay. Do you get referrals from web designers?
Very rarely, because there are so many of them, and I'm probably on a list of photographers that they have.
Okay, so just even think about that. How many people in this room know a web designer? I can't see the hands. A minute. Everybody's hands up? No?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay. How many people here have introduced Nikki to their web designer?
Not yet.
No.
Okay, so here's the question, why not? If you think she's so good, why is she not been introduced to your web designer? Why you need to speak to this girl. This girl's fantastic. She does this, she does this. Look at this stuff she's done. Look at the impact she's made for this company. Here's her portfolio. Can I introduce you? Would you like that, Nikki, or not?
Say again, sorry.
Would you like those referrals or not?
Absolutely, yes, I would.
I didn't know. I just, by the way, the only thing, whenever you signed in today, the disclosure thing was that any business you get from this, I get 10%. That's my fee. All right, good business knowledge. So understanding that is important. What's the business? Needing to know enough about that business to be able to make that conscious referral. Okay, not just all the other stuff. The personal stuff's good, I like the orange brand, but you're not wearing it today, Nikki. Why not?
No.
Why are you not wearing orange today?
I usually am.
Okay.
Right today.
Is this a business meeting or a social meeting?
It's a business meeting.
Okay, you turn up to play football on a team. Do you play in your own clothes or your business clothes?
Business clothes.
Okay. All right. The way you turn up to the meeting is how you turn up for your business. Okay. Just think like that. All right. I'm picking on you, Nikki. That's okay.
One time I've worn the right hoodie.
That's all right. Yeah. Hopefully, I haven't hurt your feelings too much. Okay. The other thing is about what are the needs? Okay. I can't see that right, Matt, but take a picture and send it to me later. So if you think of the needs, whenever we're out there, someday, what's the needs that people have that make us think of Nikki? What's the needs out there that make us think of Matt? What's the needs out there that people think of Ray? All right. So if we think of Ray here for a moment, okay, Ray, you're to be quiet. All right. What are the needs that people have where they need Ray?
They have money that they don't know what they want to do with it. Need a better return on it.
Okay. How many people like that do you know, Nikki?
Not sure I know anybody with many people with the sort of money that Ray may need for his clients.
Oh, you see, when was the last time you actually sat with them, had a conversation to find out what that actually is?
Well, I don't normally ask people how much money they have.
No, that's the problem, isn't it? So it's how do we find the needs? Okay. All right. So one of the things I would suggest to you is in your own business, what sort of questions should I be asking? What are the questions? What's the 4 or 5 questions to ask that unveil the need? Okay. That unveil the need. So if you think about it, I might ask a question to Matt. Matt, what do you do?
Oh, sorry, I thought it was a rhetorical question. You were just doing an example.
No, I'm asking you. No, Matt, what do you do?
I help football coaches and football businesses and clubs source football equipment for a competitive price and delivered speedily.
Okay. So here's not going to be as easy then to deal with, are you? Just try to think of that. So the football clubs, is that like local clubs or just senior clubs?
Yeah, everyone from grassroots clubs through to probably semi-pro, some professional women's teams.
Okay. So it's just understanding sometimes from people, who do they know? There's certain questions you can ask or whatever that can create that. If I was thinking, we're talking back to Nikki again, just to make a very simple one, it might be, talking about, when was the last time you updated your website? Who does your photographs? These types of things. What type of photographs do you have on there? The very staged photographs? Do you have a difference between staged and more casual photographs, the ones that are event-based? You can start to ask questions that just start to unveil the need. And at some point, you're able to say, you need to speak to Nikki, or, by the way, you need to speak to Matt. Budgets are tight at the moment among certain groups. Would that be fair, Matt?
Yeah, they're always tight.
Yeah. So you can start to even ask those simple questions. How long does equipment last for?
Yeah, so it depends on the equipment, but yeah, that's a big push of what we're doing. It's getting the quality stuff rather than the just the ego stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So just understanding, getting people to understand that whenever they've got someone who's in a club, asking them certain questions. What questions should I ask? If you don't teach me, Matt, I'm not going to be able to ask the right questions that get the right answers that gets me to say you need to speak to Matt.
Yeah.
Type of thing. So it's understanding those things. So you're going for that trust bit, that business knowledge, and then to identify the needs. What questions do you want me to get? So a lot of cases, whenever I'm having conversation, I go to a normal networking meeting, I might say, I might say, how's business? And they start to tell me how business is. So Matt, let me ask you, how's business?
Busy.
You're busy, fantastic. And how do you get your business at the moment?
But the main acquisition channel is Google advertising through the website, and then it's repeat business through customers once they've purchased, building relationships with them.
Okay, and your customer base, are they all giving you good referrals?
Nope, that's a big thing we're working on. We're having conversations with very good professionals at the moment who can help us support with that. People like Andy Milne, for example.
Okay. So if I was able to introduce you to an expert in the referral marketing field, would that be an interest to you and your company?
I think I'm covered off with a very good one at the moment, but if I didn't have that referral, then yes, definitely.
Oh my goodness, you haven't met this guy yet. Maybe you have, but I know you need to talk to him.
He's not going to be better than Andy Milne.
Anyway, look, not as expensive as you might think, by the way. But anyhow, trust, business knowledge, identify needs. Those are important parts. Asking the right questions get you in front of people, and then actually having the ability of the solutions. Can you actually, once you've identified those needs, do people have the ability to present a person in such a way? At this point, I would normally say, you know, you should be able to talk about 2 or 3 minutes about that business and the solutions that they provide. So they are for you. And then remember what we're doing. The purpose is to get to that number 6 as such, to get to that point where we're able to say, can I get this person to call you? You're setting up that referral at that point. And then really, whenever we think about that, is we are moving them to make that appointment. That's really what you're doing. Whenever you're getting permission for that phone call, you're giving permission for them to set up an appointment, to come and to speak to you over the phone of setting that up. That's what it's about. So what does the first meeting look like with you, Andrew? If I'm introducing someone to you, what does that first meeting look like? Andrew Milne.
Oh, so it's a fact-finding exercise to do exactly what you'd referred to before. So understand what their business principally is about, and then start to understand what their pain points and challenges are. So it's about listening and understanding what their situation is.
So where do you do that? In their office, in your office, in a coffee shop? Where do you do that?
It could be any of the above. I guess the reality is that in today's kind of, you know, online world, most of that is done via these kind of calls, Zoom, Teams, etc.
Does all your network know that? Does all your network know what your first appointment looks like?
No.
Do you think it'd be useful if they did?
Definitely.
Because if you're setting up the appointment, so Rebecca, you're still on the call?
I am.
Excellent. What does the first meeting look like with Nikki?
I would imagine that they would meet face to face, but I've never had that first meeting with Nikki because we'd already arranged to work together. So we met at the venue that we were doing the work. So I don't know.
Yeah, do you understand what I'm saying here? The process that we're going through here: trust, business knowledge, identify needs, solutions. What does that first appointment look like? So I'll give you an example. The guy I told you about earlier rang me up and says, Andrew, Guy Kieran, you need to speak to him. I believe he needs your services. And I said, Colin, what have you told him? I said, I'm very simply ring within the next 24 to 48 hours. I told him that you'd want to meet him for a cup of coffee because the two of you need to see whether you can work together. And that was it. And I go, fantastic. Okay, thanks, Colin. Rang Kieran. Kieran, I was asked to give you a call by Colin. I says, yes, that's right. I was expecting your call. First thing ticked off the box. I says, Kieran, what did Colin tell you? He says, he told me he'd ring me and he told me you'd want to meet me for a cup of coffee just to go through and see how we can maybe possibly work together. I said, that's absolutely fantastic. When suits you for the coffee? How hard was that?
Not hard.
Not hard. It was set up right. It was really, and I didn't get the business, believe it or not, but that doesn't matter. The process of the referral was right. And not all referrals are going to turn into business. That's the other thing. Okay. So just think of that process. What does your appointment look like? And again, we've now got the online side of it, different things, but there is that moving across. Now, I did say I was going to finish up just on around 11 o'clock today, leave room for questions if you want. But just bear with me for a moment. These are 4 areas which you think about referrals. What are they like for you? How well is the referral prepared? Think about appraising your diamond as such. How well does it fit your ideal client? How clear the need is, the opportunity is. Does it fit in, whenever we look at that, does it fit in how much the value of that referral could bring? Okay. So sometimes you might get I've had people they come to a free event. It's still a referral. People have referred them to a free event, still a referral. Those people have become customers later on. It's how much, you have a process, you have a marketing process of doing things. So Doesn't matter whether it's to a free event or it's a free item, first of all. So I'm going to do this very quickly with you. I know some people in here have been in BNI before. That's fantastic. But recruitment person with the that was Andy. Andy, you were the one with the very niche market you were looking for, isn't that right?
No.
Oh, who was the person with the niche?
Yeah, the other
Yeah,
Andy.
Andy O'Connor.
It was Andy.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah. Okay. So I want you all to do this. If you had only one industry that you're going to go after, what would it be? I want you to write that down. Okay. So Andy, you're going to go after that industry you're looking for. Would that be a fair comment, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to play with you here in this one.
Go for it.
Many people have got an industry down. Everybody?
Yeah,
Would you want to share the one industry, Nikki? One industry?
I put the web designers because
Okay, that's fine. That's good. Rebecca?
Employment solicitors.
Employment solicitors. Excellent. Matt?
Grassroots football clubs.
Okay. Those are the end users, though, aren't they? Those are your,
Individuals within it.
those are your customers.
Football
aren't they?
coaches.
Okay. So let me ask you another question. Who would know those people before you? What other people are supplying into those clubs?
We've got kit suppliers. We've got service providers in terms of payment solutions companies. You've got grass maintenance. You've got pitch pitch
How
replacement.
would you think even today of the people who you could be? Those could be the people you're looking for here. That's your network of people. Those people can be giving you referrals.
Yeah.
Okay. Can be. Andy, what industry did you put down?
Construction.
Construction. Excellent. Okay. Let me just move to the second one. Out of your profession that you're written down, which one company would you like an introduction to in that industry? Andy, do you have a company?
I mean, yeah. Okay, right. Well, SSEN, so it's the Scottish and Southern Electricity Network.
Okay. Is there anybody lives in Scotland, is there?
No.
No.
And they're a national energy businesses, so it'd be, I don't know, what's the biggest one in England? I don't know.
Okay. So they fall under construction, that's what you're saying?
Yeah, they do.
Okay. So Scottish Energy, okay?
Yeah.
Everybody else got a company they would like to get an introduction to?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Ray. Nikki, do you have one?
no, I don't.
Okay. Do you think it would be, if you want these industries, would it be useful to have a list of them that you're looking to speak to?
It would.
So just think like that, the prospect list, really, that's all you're doing. And you can start and speak to people. Do you know anybody in this company? I'm looking at an introduction to them potentially. So again, the Scottish Energy, does anybody know anybody in Scotland? That's a really big company. Anybody know anybody in Scottish Energy?
Yeah.
Somebody else? Who's that?
That was me again.
Oh, you can't really refer yourself, Andy, but maybe in Scotland you can, but anyway. Okay. Right. Just think like that. Who else out there then might know that company? Who could be referring you? And again, even whenever you say Scottish, you've been very specific here, Scottish Energy, it might be, somebody who in the English side of an energy company or people who are using their services. So all of a sudden you can start, they can refer you and it's similar. That's all you're looking for.
I'll tell you what, I'll come one back, Andrew, then, because it's just because I'm thinking of this as the group that we're in. I would want an introduction to the Liverpool Foundation.
Okay.
All right. So that would be Liverpool Football Club and their foundation, their charity.
Okay, so the charity side of that.
Yeah.
Okay. So there again, there's got to be somebody in this room who might know somebody, but also put it on top of that. If there's a foundation in Liverpool Football Club, would also be a foundation in Man United Football Club.
Yep.
Would there also be one in any other clubs?
Yeah.
Now, that was going to be what I asked, because we deal with a lot of foundations. We've not dealt with Liverpool yet, purposefully because I've not wanted to deal with Liverpool, but but we deal with quite a few foundations that do football activities.
So what I'm saying to you is, if that's a particular industry you're looking into, and the reason behind that, you want, take us right away, Andy, you want the Scottish Energy to deliver, and there's a reason for that, okay? So people in your group need to know what that reason is. You need to have the one-to-ones with them and make it easy for them to make the introduction. Why it's really beneficial. It has to be a win-win for both parties here. So if you think even of the charity side of the foundation, who's going to know that? What department is that within Liverpool? What department?
Yeah, I mean, straight away, I would say it would be their employability partnerships. It would be pathways and access to recruitment. And what that would be what I would be.
So when you think of that industry you put down, the company you want, the department you want to speak to, and then you think of the job title potentially within that, and then you also think of that. Thanks, Rebecca. Sorry, but the very last bit is really the most important bit. That's really where the money is. Okay, sorry to see you go, Rebecca. But if you think about that industry, company, department, job title, and then the name, those are the key parts to that. Just think of that, even of the industries you're looking for, and the more that you're able to educate your network on the diamonds you're looking for, that's where it is. That's where you're really mining through. So it is. So just to finish off, all right, these are just some of the little books I have on Amazon. Anybody wants to get some, please feel free to get it. There's no problem at all. There's no they're there. Some of them are the one brewed over time, actually 5 relationships. Ideas were taken out. It's actually, I'll tell you the truth, this one's been put together, edited by me, AI, believe it or not. I did it for a bit of fun, but it's so much material in education. It's really good material in it. So this, believe it or not, but it's well worth the read. All about building relationships over time, and the whole ideas and thought process that's all within that is mine. The other stuff, if you're looking for some free stuff, please go here. This is some of the free stuff. My business is the Business Mindset. Referral Rainmaker is a program which I run within that. Referral Rainmaker is, we do it over a 13-week program. We really delve into people's business and then help them create that team at the end of it. Hopefully you've got some value from the ends of those things. So that's the free stuff. Please feel free to get that. Plenty of stuff in there. There's an email program in there, give you 30 days education around building how to educate your team. So there's stuff in there. This is the most important one for you, I believe, today. I would like you to take a picture of this to follow this up later. It's where are you now? Maybe even for Simon, if you take a picture of this, even send it, some people have had to leave. Okay. They can at least scan this and they can start and look about how to analyze their own network and how they can best describe their network, and just bring them through the feedback form. It will actually give you a lot of information for your own business. So that is me, and I thank you for the time this morning, and hopefully you've all had some value from this morning's session.
I have, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like 2 pages of notes.
Oh, excellent. Very good. Thanks, Jim.
Just really briefly, and Andrew has not told me to say this, but what Andrew also did for me, he went through my process from the moment I get an inquiry and just said, just talk me through that process of trying